All right. Two final things for you before we wrap today. One, why is this work meaningful to you at all?
Because I know what it's like to be in-house and how stressful it is and how much you have this vision and you know what needs to get done and you're just so busy and there's so many balls and things that are taking your time and your priority. So I know what that feels like and I know that I have a solution to help people. So that feels good. I like being able to kind of help old me. In terms of coaching too, I'm also helping old me, like baby Erin coming up in content marketing and not knowing everything. And it took so long to learn because I didn't have a coach. I didn't have someone who met with me once a week and taught me everything I needed to know. I just kind of learned it by default over time. So I think it's also pretty rewarding to be able to give back and to train someone up in that way. And then for me, selfishly, I like nice things. I like fancy vacations. I was actually on a friendly call with Erica the other day, and we were both like, yo, like when I travel, I want to stay in a bougie hotel and I want you to hand me a cocktail the second I walk in the door and treat me like royalty. Like I need that because in my day-to-day life, I do not have that. I'm just like washing dishes, kids are like fighting, and someone's like hanging on my leg. Like, so no, I need to at least make enough money that I can go on my bougie vacations. And I do love to travel. I'm definitely motivated by some certain level of money. That said, this year especially, I'm all about finding my zen and trying to really not overwork myself. So finding the balance, even if that means not making as much as I could have made. For example, someone just asked me just this week if I would work on a project with them starting in July. I said, no, I'm off July and August, but I'm happy to start in September. So saying no means that I'm not going to be able to meet my full potential of income from client work, but I'm okay with that because I also prioritize my like mental health and my well-being and my zen, my time off. So it's finding that right balance.
It's hard to say no. It's hard to turn down opportunity and money, but it's a skill.
Yeah.
And I say that in all honesty, it's like being able to say no to things and really stay true to the plans that you've made. To say no and to stay true to that and to be free and do the things that you're planning is huge. And it's something that I struggle with.
Took me a few years to get here because year one, I worked like 50 hours a week. I wrote about it. I have some articles on my website where I chronicle, year one in review, and I have year two in review, and you get all the numbers of, how many hours I worked per week, how much vacation I took. So if anyone's curious, click over to my website and check it out. I tried to be as transparent as possible about my wins, my losses, my learnings, my biggest regrets, just so hopefully it'll help someone else.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last thing for you. What do you want to build that you haven't built yet?
Yeah, so I kind of started hinting at the fact that I released my second course. What I think would be really cool and valuable for the folks that I serve would be my complete system available in a modular way, right? So imagine if I had resources like a course on my hiring process, a course on content strategy, a course on how I do content planning, a course on research reports, which I do have. I just have this whole entire content process so that if somebody, they weren't going to hire me, but they had a need to improve their processes. Okay, cool. So I have this course. You're going to get my whole entire library of on-demand courses, resources, examples, templates, all these things all in one place. So right now, I have a lot of it. It's kind of disorganized. It's definitely not as organized as I would like it to be. So that's something I'll be working on is really this whole system. I will say that's my way. It's not like my way is the only one right way, but I think people do want to know how I do things. They seem curious to know my approach, and I like to teach people because I think the best weapon you can have as a marketer is a few different approaches in your back pocket that you can try, as well as some skills. So if you're trying to build a skill in content planning, maybe learn a few different approaches. And that way you can experiment and find the one that works the best for you.
There's 1,000 ways to do it. And the beauty is that people can learn all the different ways and smash them together and make a new and different way that works for them. That's kind of how we all figured it out. I think that's really what we're all doing at the end of the day. And we call it our way, but it's not that it's the only way. There are 1,000 routes, as someone once said. Aaron, this has been a ton of fun. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with me. It's been a blast to just chat it up with you and hear what you're doing and what you're building. I'm excited for your course catalog because I am one for sure curious how you do what you do.